team came out.
You remind us that we went 0-16, and if you say we haven't won since the 60s, or if you say that River once lit up, that's really nice. Just be a tool if you like. Cause you know we hate Elway. Right, 88 is more misery that we take. Try that in the dog pound. See how far you make it down Euclid Road. 'Cause in there we feast on Bengals bones. You cross that line in our end zone. It won't take long for you to find out.
Right in the dog pound.
We don't eat no Cincinnati five-way. Our 12-man shows up more than just Sundays. Don't believe me, here's big dog number 98. Try that in the dog pound. See how far you make it down the road. 'Cause out there we feast on Ravens bones. You cross that line in our end zone. It won't take long, but you'll find out. Try that in the dog pound. Full of big old boys built on Miller Lite. Don't come looking for a fight. Try that in the dog pound. In there we Steelers choking our bones. You cross that line in our end zone. It won't take long for you to find out. Just try that in the dog pound. Try that in the dog pound. Woo!
Welcome to the RawDawgers Sportscast Live. We got some new threads tonight, Ryan. You want to show them off? Got our Steve Latimer jersey. We got a place at the table. Place at this fucking table.
Right.
So good. Actually, these are pretty high quality. Oh man, you turn my mic down or turn my headphones down. Now I can't even hear myself. There you go. A little further to the right, Ryan. Thanks. Okay. No, further to the right, seriously. Anyway, we're going to get right into it. Not what we were looking for on Monday night. That's for sure. Definitely not looking for it. We're looking at something we're looking for. Line came out 2.5. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, not with the kind of defense that we saw in week 1 with Cincinnati. Nick Chubb going out. Of course, everybody knows that now. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But we're going to start off with kind of recapping the game. The good, the bad, and the Browns is what we're going to name that. So just want to start off with the Browns-Steelers recap. Ryan, biggest takeaway of the game for you?
You don't give up 14 points on offense. You're winning that game handily.
Absolutely.
We gave up -7 yards in the fourth quarter, and they still had a fourth quarter comeback. And it was the one thing that I said going in that could wreck the game, and that was the two dickheads on the edge. Highsmith and TJ Watt. And that's basically what did us in. Obviously, Deshaun could have played better. I think there's still some timing issues going on there.
Absolutely. We're going to break down some of that, too, with some film tonight.
But other than that, I mean, defensively, that's the thing. I still think that you can still go into the bye week at 3-1. This defense is good enough to keep you in every one of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the bullshit that happened, the DPI that wasn't called in the fourth quarter at the end of the game, that was pretty blatant.
I do believe that was a pass interference.
I mean, I get it's the end of the game, but like you got to call that one.
Right. And I think because it was at the end of the game, it might have been a reason why it didn't get called.
But it wasn't like it was the last play of the game.
No.
That was, it was 50 seconds left or whatever. And, the fumble that we talked about. And when I watched it, I'm like, why is this taking so long?
Right.
He fell on the ball.
Well, and even McAfee came out earlier this week, and he was bitching about it on his podcast. I mean, he wasn't saying the refs were swayed one way or the other, but basically what he was talking about was why is it taking so long for this fucking ref crew? And I'm almost positive that was the same referee crew that was in that Kansas City Bengals game, last in the playoffs last year. But I have no idea what was taking so long. I mean, that alone is going to screw momentum.
When it started going that long, I'm like, all right, they're going to get fucked.
Yeah, and usually when they're then come to find out, and we're going to get into that too, but come to find out that I think that what we didn't even think was possible on that call is what happened. Like they found something else to go off of.
He
and
had the first down.
He
fell on the ball.
Right.
And you could see that he got possession of it.
Right.
And then Ogunjobi goes in there and rips it out underneath the pile.
Underneath the pile.
He's down before he does any of that.
Correct.
And they called it first down on the field. So how the fuck do you overturn any of that?
Right. I don't either. Everybody's giving props to Tomlin now, too, as being, this. And I'm not saying Tomlin's not a great coach. I think he is a great coach.
Oh, yeah.
But they're giving all these props to Tomlin like he heard it from the box. He threw the challenge flag and da-da-da-da-da because he believed it was a fumble. There's no way. Now, what I want to find out, this too, Ryan, how is it that these coaches have this split amount of time to go ahead and get another play in, to throw the flag, but it takes New York and whoever, 2 commercial breaks to fucking figure it out?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, and even what concerns me the most is like, okay, so if it really was what they say it was, it's not going to take that long to spot the ball.
Right.
So there had to be some conversations from somewhere happening.
Right.
I'm pretty, I don't give a fuck. I think that, the NFL, they do not want to see Deshaun succeed.
I think there could be a little bit. There could be a conspiracy going on with that.
I mean, was it the right play call? Probably not, but they got it.
Right. Right.
I mean, like, people were bitching about that. It's like, dude, they fucking got the first down.
To me, the biggest part of the game was the turnovers. We lost a turnover battle. 2 of those turnovers led to 2 defensive scores for Pittsburgh. And just like you said, you take those out of there.
You win by 2 scores.
Yeah, the Steelers got 12 points. Or no, 13 points. They missed a 2-point conversion in there, right?
Yeah.
So Watson accounted for 2 fumbles, and we just talked about the one. The one, I don't even think that it should have been a fumble. It was a line to gain play.
And one, Jed Wills just got beat.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
Do you want to dive into Wills? What are we doing there?
Well,
and that's Highsmith's side of the ball. And Wills is getting beat. He's getting beat down.
You're the fourth year in the league at left tackle. You got to play better than that. And like he'll play. He has 3 or 4 plays in the game where he just gets destroyed.
Right.
And then after that he's okay, but it's like, dude, you can't do that. Not at left tackle.
I mean, at this point, I almost want to just put DeJuan Jones over there, and I know he plays right tackle, but give him a shot, man. I don't know, or move him on the strong side of the defense at least, and just whether I don't know.
I mean, I would definitely be more comfortable with DeJuan on the left side.
I mean, he's just now. Did
people want to switch Wills? It's not like he's going to just magically get better on the right side. Like
I'm saying just you can ride the pine with fucking Wills.
Right.
I don't care. I mean, you put him out there on free agency, you ain't getting anything for him.
Well, he's going to be here next year because of the 5th-year option.
Oh, that's right.
He's just got to play better. I mean, he's got it in him. He's his rookie year was his best year, which is a sad thing to say.
Well, and that's when he was having the garage sale at Progressive Field, right? Or,
the game started off the wrong way. Yeah.
Helping Baker out there with the yard sale.
The game started out the wrong way, so then the momentum was one way, and then they, from 7-0, then it went to 11-7, and then of course we know what happened right before they scored.
Right.
Our Lord and Savior Nicholas Jamal Chubb.
Right.
Went down with a gruesome injury. Things were starting to go the right way, and then there's just so many things that happen. It seems every time we go to Pittsburgh, there's ghosts there.
Right. And so Watson with the one fumble, and I'm going to call it one fumble, but basically the one was bad. It happened with about 6 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. Definitely wasn't good. A scoop and score on that. TJ Watt, believe it or not, it was his only touchdown in like 4 years of playing. And I think Highsmith stripped it, right? Beating Wills, and then J.J. Watt picks it up and goes with it. So then, of course, you had Njoku with a bad fumble there. He got punched out right before he hits the ground. And then Harrison Bryant missing the catch on the first game of the play. I mean, and was it catchable? Yes. Was it also high? Yes. Also, too. I think we got the video lined up on that, too. The reverse angle where you can see Bryant on that. I just want to show that.
Bitch, I got my own fight, don't need security in the club.
Right there.
They wolfing on,
Yeah, you got to
on the net, nigga.
You got to catch it. Was it a high ball? Yeah, it was a high ball.
Really?
Security in the club. Wolfing
I mean, he's off his feet.
Okay.
The pass was
on the net, nigga. I thought you was a thug. I ain't got nowhere to go. I shot up everywhere they was. Yeah, you know who took that shit from you. Come get it back in blood.
the ball into Highsmith's hands and runs it in for a pick six. So, yeah, was it momentum? Yeah, but you know what? The Browns' offense, going back to the momentum thing, it seemed like they came out. I didn't see anything like, oh, God, we're playing in Pittsburgh, and we're already down 7. I'm not seeing that. I didn't see that.
They didn't. I'm just saying that gave the Steelers' defense a spark. The crowd was into it. If you would have had that possession, boom, you got that first 6 yards on that play. You start handing the ball off to Chubb. You go down there, you go up 7-0.
Then I also
it's a
have
completely different game from there.
So going back into that, the Watson, the fumble that wasn't. So I have the video on that too. We're bringing this is the play we're talking about that took so long for the refs to make a decision. We all thought it was going to be line to gain, and it actually ended up being a fumble.
Right.
What the fuck just happened with the Cleveland Browns? Look at this shit. Deshaun Watson.
Fumble. Okay.
First.
That's true.
Right. And at
Down,
first I thought
but-
his knee was down.
Yeah. He had
Then there's a fumble.
Then you keep
He
walking.
didn't see a fumble on the
And
He's on the
Ogunjobi
field.
is on his backside, and I slowed this down
Yeah,
and I
this is
moved
not-
it.
this is
That's
not
not
Ogunjobi.
Ogunjobi. None of those three
So
guys
on the
are him.
field,
Yeah. Where is he? No
He's
one
on the
fucking knows.
backside
Field.
of Watson.
he called
the
it a
only way that
first
he could get to that ball.
And they're putting their 4s up because they think they stopped him.
down.
Not because they have the
What
ball.
they didn't see was there was a fumble. So Pittsburgh's head coach, Mike Tomlin, decided to throw the challenge flag. So you can see there's definitely a fumble. But everyone thinks Deshaun Watson is the player that recovered this fumble. But where does the ball land back? That's the question that is going on right now. But there's one thing we're all
Ogunjobi's right on the backside.
out
He's
on.
underneath the pile.
And this is
You
the
can't see
shit
him.
we didn't understand and we didn't see coming out is the Pittsburgh Steelers player came
I mean, if
out of the
anything, I'm thinking
pile
Mike Tomlin's
with the
throwing the
ball.
challenge
So
flag
now
for
the
the line of
referees
game.
are going to review the play. Do we have a clear recovery?
That's the thing, too. That's what doesn't make sense to me. Let me get this breakdown. Which doesn't make sense to me. When you challenge something, you challenge the spot of the ball.
Right.
He never, when they said he's challenging the spot of the ball, they never said we're challenging possession. So you can't fucking just make shit up.
And is that a rule? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. It's just the coach have to say, hey, I'm challenging the spot of the ball? Or does he say, I'm just challenging the play? And if they find something else in the play.
From what I heard, at least I could be wrong. From what I heard, is they challenging the spot of the ball. Mm-hmm. They never challenge change of possession.
Right. So I guess what
and the big problem is too. Even if they want to do that, you have to have irrefutable evidence. Where in the evidence in that clip do you see?
No, and I never got an angle, and we've got all the angles.
Because nobody was looking for that.
The only thing we saw was Ogunjobi come up with the ball after we all assumed the play was dead.
After Watson started coming off the ground,
right? Anybody can just pick up the ball at that point.
He's already down. You can't. With the people that were on top of him, I don't think you can get a fucking view of that where you can see a ball switch hands before.
Well, if they would have had that angle, they would have seen it, and we would have seen it online by now. We would have seen the sky camera pick it up.
Not once have I seen it.
I haven't either.
And
so
talk about momentum. They were driving the ball on that.
Right.
On that.
Absolutely.
Even if they went down and got 3, I mean, it changes the game. It changes.
It changes, right. And then, of course, we talked about the fumble that was. So I'm calling the fumble that wasn't on that play and the fumble that was on the strip sack with only 6 left in the fourth quarter. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's still within reach here. Even after, though, the Browns go out, they get a good defensive stop, 3 and out, and they go ahead and punt. We get the ball back with plenty of time.
Right.
And other shit happened. DPJ, of course, with the pass interference call on the 4th down. Don't really know. Are you throwing? Let me ask you this: are you throwing that ball to DPJ in that situation, or are you throwing that sideline ball like that on that sideline out? I mean, you finding anybody else? Because at that point we had timeouts left, right? Do we have one? I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, but
you had to convert to get a new set of downs.
You had to convert, but it was if you go back and look at it, it was a good throw. He was getting raped.
He was. And
that's another thing in your mind as a quarterback. Either one, he's going to beat him because he's a bigger wide receiver, or 2, he's going to get the flag.
Right.
Well, you should have got the flag.
Didn't happen.
All
of a sudden, the black and gold.
Now, if we're playing at home against Arizona, they're giving a flag.
Right.
Dude,
or they're flagging Kyler Murray for playing Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Over there on the bench.
No, I just... was it 2 years ago, 21? We played Arizona. I've never seen so many flags on so much bullshit in my life.
Yeah, we did.
But it's like when I was in high school. We go to Orville. You're never getting the call. They're getting all the calls. It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, moving on. Offensive side of the ball. Watson 22 for 40, 235, 5.9 average. Had a touchdown there. The 2 fumbles we talked about, and of course the interception for the pick 6. We're going to go ahead and break down a little bit of this film here. Somebody from SB Nation kind of broke some of this down. I thought it was really good. We're going to go ahead and break it down. Ryan, I might let you even break it down even more from what you see. Right. We just start with the first clip here. You just pause that for a minute. Basically, what they're talking about is maybe Deshaun's timing, especially the timing. The receivers are breaking out of the routes before he's releasing the ball. Is it the speed of the game? Could that be an issue for, Watson right now? The speed of the game still hasn't caught up with him. What he's seeing, is he not trusting his receivers? I mean, he should be trusting Cooper at least. Which he had 7 completions to Cooper on 10 targets.
Yeah, and
the one he's not trusting, and the one, I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but, Elijah Moore only had 3 receptions, I think, on 9 targets. That's not good. That's not good.
No, but
and he's your number 2.
I think I want to preface this too. In 2018, 19, and 20 in Houston, his like two worst weeks of the season most of the time were the first 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
I think
I didn't know that.
When you, especially week 1, and week 1 last week was kind of a throwaway because of the weather. But
right.
We're gonna watch this, but I don't think it's the speed of the game. I think it's speed of him trusting his reads.
Right.
Because once he sees the guy turn, and we'll see this, we'll go through these clips here. It's 3rd and 6. I believe this one. I'm trying to remember who this goes to.
Pause.
We'll see. All right. Okay, so we got somebody coming out of the backfield there. Oh, this is the good one. Okay. This is the good throw.
Yeah, that's in the fourth quarter.
All right, this is your, And he made a couple of these throws up the sideline. This is why he paid $230 million for the guy.
And it's a back shoulder throw.
Mm-hmm. And it's 3rd and 6, so you got vertical routes going up on both sides of the field. You got a seam route in the middle. The back, yeah, you could dump it off, but you're probably not getting the first down. So what he's going to do is basically throw a back shoulder, and I think this one was to Cooper.
Yeah, it was to Cooper.
And it's just perfectly placed, and Cooper makes a hell of a catch because that was contested. But yeah, this is the good Deshaun Watson, and I think this is going to continue. And you can see Wills is actually not getting destroyed.
Getting smoked by Highsmith there.
And his mechanics and everything look a lot better than they did last year. So that's a good thing. That's just a perfect throw, perfect catch.
Right.
So it's good to see that your number 1 wide receiver has good chemistry.
Right.
But here's some other videos. We'll go over.
Maybe we can bring them up, and then we can just kind of preface it as to what's going on. Hit pause.
Yep. All right. 1st and 10. All right, the 16-11 second quarter. I think this is the Elijah Moore one. See what they're in. Motion everybody out. Get the matchup you want. It kind of looked like might have been some early movement. But you're going to see here.
Yep. That's
as
that
soon
one.
As he turns, that's Minka, I think. That ball should be coming out, and it is actually.
I think that's Cooper, actually. That's another one to Cooper there. That's the one where Minkus gets in there. But basically, the ball needs to be out before the wide receiver makes his break.
No, that just needs to be caught. It hits.
But it allows Minka to get down on the play, is what I'm saying.
Well, this is the thing. All right. You say that. This is his drop. Okay? And he's already winding up to throw. How much earlier do you want him to throw the ball? Because if he throws it earlier, you have a linebacker reading his right underneath that. That needs to be caught. I mean, you could get it off a little bit earlier, but it hits him right in the hands. The defender doesn't touch it at all.
Well, the defender actually, Minka comes in on the backside. You'll see it on the reverse play. He actually gets an arm in there and knocks it out of Cooper's hands from the backside on this angle here.
Poppy Vanilla. Okay. No, he doesn't.
Watch. Watch the left hand come in. Right there.
I mean, that's bang, bang. You can get that ball out maybe a quarter of a second out earlier,
Right.
but that's the ball is where it needs to be. If anything, Minka just makes a really good play.
He
with his
did.
left
And
hand.
Minka's good. I mean, I'm not saying he's not great. Let's bring up another clip.
Yeah, I think these other ones are a little bit more concise. I think this is a second drive. Was this one to Moore?
I believe. Yep, sideline.
Yeah, this one you can definitely.
That's Joey Porter Jr. That's the rookie corner.
Yep. All right. So when he goes into his drop, but I will say this when I was watching earlier, Pittsburgh does a really good job disguising what they're going to do here. Because when you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on the line, and as soon as he gets the ball,
They drop.
You have 2 guys rushing.
Right.
All right, and then you have a safety or corner doing like a delayed blitz. All right, so Deshaun's probably scanning like, what the hell's going on here? Probably not going to get the deep route. And then as soon as he sees this guy, I think that's when he lets it go. And that is when he lets it go. So I think that's more on Pittsburgh with some good disguise there, but he does need to be able to see that. Because I'm sure you've probably seen that on film. So when he sees that corner bailing, he knows the route. That ball should be out already. I want to see,
Right there.
I want to see his drop, though. he should be firing it right now. There's a hitch. Yeah. I mean, it should be out earlier than that. I think that's...
And Porter comes in and breaks the play up. It allows them to close in because the ball's not out when you even said it should be out.
That's really close, though, because it's not like a hitch, then throw. But, yeah, he could see it a little bit earlier and get it out a little bit earlier. But he makes the right throw. And, honestly, the ball is where it needs to be. But if it's there a half a second earlier,
that's a catch.
That's a first down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I think, did we go through?
We have one more, I think.
Oh, and this was just a bad throw. This is the Cincy game.
Yep.
I think this was more to the weather that was going on up in Cleveland for no fucking reason. I like the wide, though. You got two tight ends out there. Chip the ends. And right here, I don't know if you want that ball out or not, because that linebacker that's underneath there could possibly get that. He throws it, and that's not a timing issue. That's just a bad throw.
That's just a mechanical issue, which I think last week
it was weather, man.
It was weather, but last week, we saw we definitely saw 4 or 5 balls into the turf, which we didn't really see that this week. I think it was just maybe some timing issues. Whether you want to argue a split second or not, that could make all the difference.
Yeah, no, I do think on that corner route for sure. I don't know about that Amari one. That's really close. Yeah. Yeah, that's just a bad throw. And you'll have that. Fuck.
Right. But, going back.
No, it's this close.
It's close.
Which can
whether
be fixed.
whether he starts, maybe he's getting those balls out that split second quicker, and that's going to make all the difference. Plus, we're going to get into it.
Honestly, I think more of that's with footwork with your drops.
Okay.
Because
all right. That's fair enough.
From what I've seen on those, as soon as he gets back on the drop, he's already loading the throw. So I think he sees it and he's throwing it. He just needs to have a better timing on his drops. Maybe he needs to shorten it up to get the ball out.
Are you talking maybe going 3-step instead of 5?
Well, his 3-step I think is just a little elongated.
Okay. I see.
That's what it looked like to me.
So is there such a thing as maybe even disguising your drop?
Or you could just do Tom Brady and just go one step back and stand there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly, that might even be, call AVP and say there's no sense in doing 3 5-step drops, especially the 5-step drops. I don't trust the tackles enough to do that.
Right. Well, we'd like to.
You would like to.
You'd like to. So,
Yeah.
So drop passes, whether it be timing issues, drop pass is definitely an issue. Moore 3 of 9, DPJ 1 of 4. Another one big miss to Goodwin again. On this play, I don't have video footage of this, but if you're watching the game, it was definitely a miscommunication there because Watson's throwing post, Goodwin's running flag, so he wasn't where he was. There's no way Watson's missing him by 15 yards there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a broken play, so I'm not blaming any of that on, that's nothing more than, just a miscommunication. So, want to get into what we talked about here, the Nick Chubb injury. If you haven't seen the video by now, you must be living under a rock.
Right.
I mean, and we're not going to bring it up.
Not doing that.
You can go on about any site at this point. You can see where the knee was not supposed to turn. Of course, bad thing is this also happened to Georgia on the same knee. So is he going to be an OBJ here and have the same kind of injury? I mean, prayers up for Chubb, of course.
That was what, 2017?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's not like he's 30, so.
Correct.
It's a shit injury. It's a horrible injury. I don't know if, when he does his rehab, if he'll be ready for week 1, but I feel like when he does come back, he'll be Nick Chubb.
And
I think he's like Adrian Peterson.
And I heard that he went into emergency surgery that night. That night when it happened.
Well, he had some
internal bleeding is what I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah.
From the injury, not good, of course. But was this a dirty hit by Minka? I mean, what do you think? He came out later as, I saw a video today. He's talking about it. Does it really matter at this point? I know it, the press wants to get on it and say, here's my opinion. I played football. Shit happens. I mean, I remember when on a tackle drill, a guy's arm got caught in the face mask, compound fracture.
I never.
We fell down on it. It broke it completely out of his skin. Stuff happens.
Especially when somebody's already engaged though with somebody. I've never gone at nobody's legs. I've never dove tackled at anyone. That's never how I played. I get it when you're going up against. You got to go for their legs, but when they're already locked up with somebody, but it was bang bang, whatever. I still don't. I don't like it.
I mean, I don't like it, but I could see, for that injury to occur, the pressure above the kneecap had to be at a certain point where Nick Chubb's foot wasn't releasing. And it's possible, that it happened on that turf. I could see it happen. You get your toe caught, and there's nothing else to give. There's just nothing there. Could have been his foot was back.
Well, that's because somebody was engaged up top.
Correct. I agree. Correct. But what I'm saying is that his foot could have been 2 inches further back, and the knee or the leg would have collapsed at the hinge in the back part of the leg, rather than the way it did, and then you get what you get. So, I mean, yeah.
You never want to see that for
No, you
for
don't.
anybody.
No, you don't. And I do, watching that video from Minka today, I know that it was on there, whether you believe him or not, he even...
I don't think it was intentional, but, stop playing like a fucking pussy and hit somebody with your shoulder. God damn, dude.
And the whole argument is that, Nick Chubb's hard enough to bring down. Yeah, well, I'm wanting to go down the legs. Right.
I mean, open field, go for the legs. I get it, but dude, in that type of scrum,
right?
I've never gone for the legs at somebody when I played.
So Jerome Ford now filling in, probably going to be the RB1 for us. Immediately rips off a 69-yarder, almost a touchdown.
Wow.
I mean, just barely not a touchdown there. Pierre Strong goes ahead and finishes it off. Take that 69-yard out, for some comparisons here. Excuse me. Ford, 15 carries, 2.5 yards per carry. And then Chubb, you take away his 20-yard rip, about 2.66 yards per carry on 9 carries. Not total yardage. I'm not in no way am I saying that Ford is Nick Chubb. There's, Chubb is probably arguably top 2 running back in the league, maybe right there with Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey does a few, maybe some other things.
Pick your poison there.
Yeah, pick your poison, right.
Whatever
but it's
type
definitely top 2.
Yeah.
Okay, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying Jerome Ford's that. Is he a serviceable back? Yes. Yeah. He's very much a serviceable back. It's not that far off.
I'm more worried about the offensive line than I am them.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit worried about mentally that you don't have Chubb back there as if you're Stefanski or Van Pelt and you don't have that security blanket of Chubb. I'm a little bit concerned about that.
Number 4 is going to have to earn his money, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and I think week 1, that game plan got thrown out the window. You're not running the ball 30 times. Oh, I mean, if you're up by 3 scores, you're going to run the ball a lot.
Nick had 18 for 108 last week. Ford
he had
came
15
in
for 60 something, didn't he?
Yeah, on this game, 15.
Well, I mean, week 1, didn't he have 15 carries?
Oh, I thought it was 18 for 108. Is that what? I thought that was Chubb.
Ford in week 1.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He definitely ripped off.
You're not
something.
running the ball like that.
No, you're not. So earlier this week, the Browns re-signed Kareem Hunt to a 1-year, $4 million deal. Kareem Hunt was kind of let go to free agency in the offseason. He did have visits with the Colts and the Saints after being a free agent. According to Kareem Hunt, he was not happy with being there, and according to him this week, he wanted to kind of stay at home. Now, if truth be known, those clubs probably were not offering the kind of money that he felt that he was going to get by going to free agency.
Right, but again, they probably would have got the same or more there than he's getting here now.
Yeah. Well, you think so? You think he would have got? Yeah, I mean, $4 million is not shit, but we know
that's a little bit over veteran minimum, I think, for him.
Yeah, but we're not even going. I mean, just to put it in perspective, though, we are dealing with the Ursays.
Right.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So not one to, and we know what the kind of shit they're pulling with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So, getting on to Jonathan Taylor, though, did the Browns give Indy a call in regards to Jonathan Taylor? Read an AZ Sports article stating that the Colts would at least want either Tillman or Newsome plus a second-round pick. Obviously, the Browns don't have a first round to give. Obviously, the Browns would want to give away Tillman with that second-round pick.
Over Newsome.
Over Newsome, obviously. So what do you think that call was made? I mean, we don't know. But also you have to also think that maybe Chubb's not coming back. Of course, with the kind of free cap money we have now, you could have given Taylor probably would have wanted a multiple year deal.
He's going to want the same deal Chubb got from us.
And then, of course, Indy, being that he's still on the rookie deal, could basically counter-offer that and snatch Jonathan Taylor back up. But it would force them to have to, if they wanted to do it, they would have to pay Taylor.
I don't think you need that. I think the scheme, as long as the offensive line plays, that's what I'm saying. Like, even Chubb was struggling. He had his couple breakout runs there. Offensive line's going to have to play better for them to run the football better. This is kind of like Denver back in the early, mid-2000s.
Right.
Yeah, Chubb is the dude. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
But you could plug somebody in there and still be very serviceable there.
Yeah.
And why give up assets right now for that? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Jonathan Taylor's great too, but at that point, you're pretty much saying we're going to cut Chubb at the end of the year because.
Well, it's at least through 2025.
Right, but
right,
you're going to have to extend him for him to stay here.
Right.
And he could. I don't know. Just too many moving parts at this point.
There is right now. It's too early in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. And the Browns had to go and do something. Of course,
you got Kareem. He can pass protect.
Dalvin Cook was already off the board. Ezekiel Elliott's already off the board.
Right. Jordan Ward. Watson couldn't win with Andre Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Arian Foster. Well, he did win 2 more division championships than the Browns have since '89 with those guys. So I'll take that. Can we just win a division? That's really
what we want to start with, Jordan. Thank you for tuning in.
A whole playoff game. After that shit happens, I just want to bite at the apple.
Yeah, we're gonna take one step at a time, and right now it is at least getting the division win, getting that home game, and then seeing where it goes from there. And then that's where we're a long ways from that right now.
People are like, oh, we don't want a Super. I'm like, fuck, let's win a goddamn division.
Right.
Then talk about a Super.
Right. It's steps.
Yes.
There's steps every year. When you're not seeing. Okay, Patrick Mahomes, great example. Andy Reid, rookie year, goes ahead and replaces Alex Smith in the very last game of the season.
Right.
Okay, I think the following year,
when he throws 50.
Yeah. Well, do they make the playoffs that year?
Yeah, I think that's the year.
Yeah, they make the playoffs, but they're not.
No,
they won the division.
Yeah, they won the division, and then they lost to Brady
in the AFC Championship, right? Okay,
yeah,
which was phenomenal. Yeah, which was phenomenal. But then they go on the following year, and then they win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Then they have an off year, and Brady gets them getting down in Tampa.
Yep.
Fuck Brady. Okay, and then,
he's the GOAT.
Yeah. Whatever. So, and then they go back to last year, and they win the Super Bowl again. So I'm not. There's just. You're climbing a ladder here, and the first rung of that ladder, in my mind, I think in your mind, is win the division.
Yes.
Win the division.
Yeah.
Something we haven't done since '99. I mean, something we haven't done with the new Browns.
Yeah, never won the AFC North.
Right.
That was the AFC Central.
Right.
Let's start with that.
Let's win the division, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Build the culture.
Right.
And
right.
He's already
expectations.
He's already gotten people to want want to come and play here. So it's steps here.
Right. So, all right, I'm going to move on to the Browns defense, which, regardless of whatever that's said on that scoreboard on Monday night, you have to believe still that this is a very elite defense. I've got the stats to prove it. I watched the game. We rewound the game.
One play.
Still an elite defense. Defense has only given up a combined 14 first downs. 14, not 40, 14. First downs this season on a league average of 36.
Right.
That's 14. That's less than half.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We have not had one opponent have a drive inside of our 30-yard line.
That's amazing. That's absolutely
ridiculous. Amazing. That's 85 Bears.
That's 85 Bears shit. 2,000 Ravens shit.
Yeah,
Except we're not killing people.
Right.
We're not. Somebody still needs to take that Ray Braun statue, and they need to put a bloody white blazer on it.
Fuck Jonathan Taylor. Let's get Vontez Perfect.
Right. And I just want to read this off just because, just to back up the defense, if that wasn't enough for you, here's the Steelers' drives, okay? And they had a drive at the end of the half, but here's the drive off of the box score. Interception, Steelers' first drive, Grant Delpit, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, interception, punt, fumble, punt, field goal, touchdown to Pickens. And Pickens had, he had a game. He had a breakaway there. Punt, field goal, punt, and punt.
And we had a dropped interception in the second half.
Yes, we did.
That could have sealed the game.
That was McLeod, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if Thornhill was there.
And even on that TD that Pickens had, the play beforehand, that third down.
Right.
Even Walker, he's like, I missed the tackle. Which is going to happen once in the game.
Sure it is.
But, they're this close to just literally being the 2,000 Ravens.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
So only 13 points on offense for the Steelers. Now the Browns defense, they're ranked 4th on rush defense. I looked this up today, crunched the numbers. Of course, Cowboys are leading everything in all categories right now. Of course, they had that 40-0 blowout of the Giants week 1. Nobody really knows how good or bad the Giants are. Of course, we have a feeling we know a little bit more. But the Giants had a tough schedule. They led off with the Cowboys. They played Thursday night football against San Francisco last night. They had that Cardinals game, which I thought would be a gimme for them. But they were losing 28-7 at the half. They had to come all the way back, and they ended up winning with a field goal. But you're giving up that kind of –
not very good.
Yeah, they're not good. That defense is bad. Okay, and Brian Dable may be the quarterback whisperer, but I don't think they have anybody whispering shit on defense. Okay, so –
And then they got pieces on offense, too. They have Darren Waller now. And
Yeah, they got Waller. Darius Slayton's still there. They got Jalen Hyatt.
Well, and their offensive line is worse than ours, too.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones, though. Of course, Daniel Jones getting that money in the offseason.
Yeah, is that the worst contract in NFL history?
Yeah, right. So, the Browns ranked 2nd on passing defense. They're 4th on rush defense, 2nd on passing defense, only behind the Cowboys. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you're 4. You got the Cowboys, and they're playing the lowly Aaron Rodgers-less Jets this last week. I mean, Zach Milfson may never be seeking MILFs again after taking the punishment from Micah Parsons and the boys down there.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's bad. And you have him going in cold against a very, very hot Dallas defense, and he looks less than pedestrian. He's not good at all.
I don't know why they don't just run the ball.
Right. They did, but I think
18 throws a game.
Well, I think they are, but I think Breece Hall last week was only even splitting carries, but I think he had 8 yards against that Dallas defense.
But didn't he only have 6 carries?
Yeah, I know, but still 8 yards. I mean, that's Najee Harris type numbers.
You keep pounding it, dude. Keep pounding the rock. Well, supposedly the Jets are supposed to have this great defense.
Right, and they got schooled.
I've been hearing about that for 2 years, and every time I watch them, I'm like, hell, fucking Jacoby Brissett put 30 on him last year.
Right, but they got owned by Dallas.
Right.
And now I think a lot of that was a matter of offensive possession. I think the Jets defense was getting worn out because the time of possession was so heavily favored with the Cowboys offense.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure it's going to happen down the road. If the Cowboys keep going down this road, all of a sudden the Cowboys are going to be, the team again until Dak Prescott starts getting the interception, the turnover type shit going on. But you're going to have.
I still think they're top 2 team in the NFC right now. Them and San Fran are more.
That defense for sure.
Well, them and San Fran to me are more impressive than Philadelphia right now.
Well, but so hold on, pump the brakes a little bit. So Dallas this weekend gets to play the Cardinals. Okay.
Right, they're going to blow them the fuck out.
That line already at 12.5, which I don't think that's enough.
I would take, that would be the only 12.5 I think I'd ever take.
Well, stay tuned because I have another one that I'm going to swallow the points on, but we'll save that for the Crying Jordan.
Is there another 12.5?
Yeah, there is, which is a phenomenal number. That's a huge number to the NFL.
Kansas City.
It is,
yeah.
But we'll get on that later on. But so. Yes, second-ranked passing defense by the Cowboys. Delpit again, just playing like a man possessed, just absolute phenomenal. What's his contract? What's his contract status? Do you know?
He's in a contract year.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
They better give him one.
He's working on it.
He's gonna be like he's like our version of like Palomalu and Ed Reed.
Right. Or Minka.
He's been
maybe.
Or Minka. He's been like 85 plus PFF grade for the last like 12 weeks that he's played.
That's phenomenal.
Going back to last year.
So
he's great against the run, and he's great in coverage.
And he's just hitting people. So Delpit,
Delpit
leading the secondary again with a pick, 6 total tackles, 1 pass defended. So just lighting people up on that defense. Then up front, of course, we got Miles. Looked like he had kind of a quiet night, and I get that with only 1 tackle.
They were.
But
the pressures were there.
Right. The pressures were there, which you're not seeing that in the box scores, the hurries. But you can still make the case that his presence was felt. Helped out Zadarius.
Well, and the pressure up in the middle has been phenomenal.
And that's the biggest thing,
that
too.
Rotation's been great.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, with Jim Schwartz. We're seeing, why the hell did it take – why weren't they moving Myles Garrett around last year?
Well, they didn't have the guys.
Yeah, well, Joe Woods is a fucking idiot, too.
He's a fucking idiot, too.
Right, so...
They have a lot better guys up front this year.
They do. But still, they could have moved him around as like a stud guy and just moved him around.
And he had no sense of creativity with the defensive front.
Cover 0.
Cover 4.
So Zadarius freed up some people like Tomlinson, Alex Wright, JOK laying some lumber out in this game. They all combined to have 2 sacks, 9 QB hits. Don't have the hurries. Don't have on the box on Pickett, though. 9 QB hits on Pickett. So anything to add on that defense? I mean, it's good. It's good.
It's a defense I've been wanting to see in Cleveland.
Absolutely.
For my entire life. I've never seen one like it. I mean, 2021 at the end, they're pretty damn good, but this year they're...
It's elite.
It's from the start, too. It's not waiting 8 weeks to play well.
And you don't... Here's the other thing, too. Just going back to, do you feel like they're getting down after that pick 6? No.
Dude,
the defense is just flying around.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
And they're loving each other. When you see it after the plays, these guys, you didn't see that shit last year.
No, and you didn't see it in 21 either.
No. They're flying around. You can tell Schwartz has these guys all in.
And they're the ones going against our offense every week.
Right.
I think they understand, like, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs to click.
Right.
And once it does, you have both of the sides playing complementary football. Lights out, man.
Yep. All right, so now that we got that dismay out of the way, see what I did there?
Right.
We're going to move on to upcoming Sunday, 1 o'clock. We got the Titans coming into town, 1 o'clock Eastern. So Titans top 5 on the defensive rush yards per game, but bottom 5 in the league.
They're the best rush defense.
Yeah. Well, not the Cowboys have the 1.
Oh, okay.
Cowboys got the 1. The Titans are top 5. This according to Pro Football Focus.
Yep.
So, but they're bottom 5 in the league, coming off 2 hard-fought games. They lost to the Saints in week 1, 16-15. But Olave had 8 for 112. Okay? Stay tuned. And then winning against the Chargers last week. The Chargers are going to Charger. In overtime, 27-24. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both, respectively. Allen with 8 for 111. Mike Williams, 8 for 83. I mean, that's 200 yards receiving between two top-tier guys. Oh, boy. Yeah, Tannehill, 20 of 24 for 1 touchdown, but he had 3 picks against the Saints in game 1.
They have a good defense, too.
Yeah. The Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as ours, though.
With the Saints going into this, I just wish that we'd see the Saints. Now, they're going to have Kamara coming back off of suspension here soon. I think he had a 3-gamer, so after this week,
they're still my
favorite
in that division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Fugazi that is Tampa and Baker at 2-0 is exactly that. It's a Fugazi.
It's a Fugazi.
And we're going to find out this week, because Ryan and I already looked ahead. They're playing Philadelphia, and it's at home.
Shit's about to get pushed in.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, Tannehill, 20 of 24, 1 touchdown, like I said, but 3 picks against the Saints. DeAndre Hopkins was actually their second leading receiver last week, and I saw a little bit at the end of that game.
He's a little banged up, too.
Yeah, he's a little banged up, but also it's almost like his body language, because I saw some of that. It just...
Well, he's like, I came here for the money.
Yeah,
and
I wish
I
would have went and fucking got a locker with Cooper.
Right. Dude, that would have been
phenomenal.
Nice.
Phenomenal. I mean, Hopkins 31 now, right? 31. But I mean, having that juice, you had. We're not asking you to be the one, dude. Just be the 2. Let Cooper at 27 years old or 28, he's still taking the 1. Just be the 2. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
We'll get you the best matchup.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You're going to eat.
Yeah.
So Derrick Henry, just looking at some of this stuff, may have lost a step a little bit. So he had 25 carries, which we're waiting for this. 25 carries for 80 yards against the Chargers, 1 touchdown. So he did have his touchdown. 15 carries for 63 yards against the Saints. Of course, Tannehill with 3 picks. They're not going to have the ball as long. Still, though, a 3.5 yard per gain average.
Well, and in his career against Cleveland, he's not been good.
Yeah.
He had the one game in 2019, he had the longest reception of his career. Mm-hmm. But if you remember in 2020, we bottled him up. He fumbled the ball. Was that the last time we played Tennessee? It was in 2020. I think it was.
I think I was at that game, actually.
No,
was that 2020?
That was in
24-20, wasn't it? The score
that we won? Tennessee.
Oh no, I meant at home. I thought at home.
When was the last time we played at home?
I don't know, but I was at that game. I thought we ended up losing that game, but
well, I was there in 2019 when we had all the hype, and it was week 1. We got our asses shellacked.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played well against Cleveland, and this is the best defensive front we've had, best core of linebackers we've had since he's been here. So, he's probably going to break one, 15, 20, 25 yarder at some point.
Maybe.
That's just who he is.
Maybe.
But I'm not afraid of it, and I'm definitely not afraid of Ryan Tannehill.
No. And that's the thing.
This is going to be another where the defense doesn't give up more than 13 points.
And here's the thing. Here's my biggest thing. We know that their passing defense isn't good. We know that DeAndre Hopkins was only the second leading receiver in one of those first 2 games.
Well, and they've given up in both games. They've given up a wide receiver having 110 yards and 80 yards.
Right.
So
they had 200 between Mike Williams and Keenan Allen last week.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
In both weeks.
And Olave had 112 the first week.
Yeah. And now that's the wide receivers. Tight ends haven't been so successful. They have pretty good front 7 when it comes to stopping the run and getting a pass rush. So. But a lot of that comes from the middle, which is where our best offensive linemen are. So you got to think that Batonio, Teller, and Posick are
you're talking on that side. Yeah,
are going to do their job.
Oh, you're talking about the chart or the Titans.
No, Titans.
The Titans on the tight ends.
Yeah, they haven't given up a lot to tight ends, but they've given a shit ton up to wide receivers.
Right.
But I still think Njoku can get 4 or 5 receptions and 50 or 60 yards.
Well,
This should be the get right game for Deshaun.
Well, I'm actually going to go against you on this. So I was breaking down those numbers today on Pro Football Focus. So what to expect from the Browns? I mean, I think Njoku, this could be the game. We got the game at home. Gerald Everett.
I definitely think he can have a big game.
Yeah, Gerald Everett last week, tight end for the Chargers, is 3 for 3 with 47 yards, but he had 24 yards yards after the catch. So, and that yards after the catch, it was also a problem with Olave. You know, he saw there was a big chunk that he got yards after the catch. But it's when you consistently get the yards after the catch, that's the problem. Like San Francisco last night, and they were playing the Giants in that game, the yards after the catch, whether it be Debo, whether it be McCaffrey, their other receiver that was really good against, he was out. He was out. But even Robbie.
Yeah, they had like 7 guys catch balls.
Yeah, spreading it around. I mean, obviously, we already talked about the Giants' defense, but yards after the catch. Okay, neither one of those guys, whether you talk about with the Saints, the Saints tight end, is it Jones? No, I can't remember his name right now, but whatever it is. None of these guys are as big as Njoku. Njoku is just a brick shit house.
He's an athlete.
Okay, so, yeah, and he is. And if Gerald Everett is getting yards after the catch like that, I really think
you have to if you get the ball across that front that they have,
right,
it's easy picking.
Yeah. So. And if you go ahead, if you get, and I think we might see a little bit of a change here. All last game, and I texted you guys too, and I was screaming about it. Why is Watson not having somebody out there to dump it off?
Yeah, and
I think you're going to see a change in this game. I really do.
I think you are, and I also think too that a little bit of that is also where they gave me all this money. I need to make some big plays. I need to be this and that. It's like, dude, just go out there, get the chains rolling, and then when we start doing the play action, when it's going to work,
right,
then hit the big one. Or, do that. You don't have to do it right off the rip. I think that's his mentality is still. He needs to make all these big plays. It's like, dude, just go out there and play the position.
Well, and the other thing is, too, if you're seeing this 22 formation with the 2 tight ends, the 2 wide receivers, the 2 tight, So you're seeing that kind of formation, the spread that Watson likes. Stefanski he knows what Watson likes. He's trying to get him to settle into it a little bit.
And more RPOs. I don't think they did any last week.
There wasn't much of that at all.
Yeah.
There wasn't much. Yeah, I agree. I didn't even think about that till you just brought it up. So. But you're seeing that more spread formation where they're going to spread the defense out. I think it's going to help Watson see more defensive schemes before the plays happen. Of course, just like the one you broke down earlier where it looked like it was a disguise play. 4 guys drop back into coverage.
They're always good about doing motions and
yeah.
To see
Tomlinson's a good coach. We're going to go ahead and give him that. So, but as far as this game goes, it's at home. You got that.
That place was rocking week 1. It'll be rocking.
It's going to be rocking. And right now, I haven't looked at the weather for this. It's going
to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, right? It's not going to be any type of rain.
Nope.
That 22, you're going to see that. I think you should see that. Here's my question to you, too. I wanted to ask you this off the cuff. Any chance that Akins is going to get a start over Harrison Bryant and be that tight end too?
I don't see why not. Well, on that play, there was 3 tight ends on the field.
Yes.
So he's the third. Bryant's the 3rd tight end.
Oh, I thought he was 2 on the depth chart right now. Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
Akins, yeah. Akins. It's going to be Njoku and Akins out because if you watch that play, you see Akins is the one running behind the interception.
Okay. All right.
Now, I mean, there might be some matchups or something like that, and these guys rotate in and out, but Akins is number 2.
Okay.
He's definitely the better athlete.
Because what all I read was Bryant and Lisa going into not post the Steelers game, but Bryant was the 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that.
But anyway, so
I'll look up the depth chart actually.
Yeah, it might be different. The other thing is too, I think this is going to be huge. I just have this feeling. Okay, so we went ahead and got Kareem Hunt out we got Kareem Hunt, right? The 1 year, $4 million. Kareem Hunt, on his visit to the Saints, on his visit to Indy, wanted more. He thought he was going to get more. Okay, and he didn't get more. Or it wasn't enough for him to relocate. So I think this is a really good possibility. Kareem Hunt could have a hell of a game. I think if you get him out in no, bear with me here. I think if you get him out in that spread and you go ahead and get him out as another receiver.
I just don't know what kind of football shape he's in.
Well, and I don't know that either. Nobody does. Does he have any gas left in the tank? We don't know.
I think he does. He's only 27.
Yeah. But I just think that the Kareem Hunt is, I've seen this shit before. I think he's the kind of player that he's going to be out there. He wants to prove it.
Yeah,
and nothing like starting on a home game. Yeah. You can start him out there.
Oh, he's going to be ready. I just think he's going to be, maybe 15 snaps.
And that's fine, but I think he can make the 15 snaps count.
Worth it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be a guy that's banging people around.
They made sure to sign him on Tuesday because Wednesday's the first day of preparation. Mm-hmm. I definitely think he's going to get snaps, but how much he plays, I think it's going to be more of like game time decision. Like as the game's going on, you feel good, feel great, go out there.
All right. So side note from RawDawgers here, I'm going to go ahead and say you're building a lineup on DK and fantasy this week. Getting Njoku in, you're going to thank me. Getting Njoku in, I have a feeling
I think Elijah Moore's going to have a big day.
Yeah, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
You think so? Mm-hmm. I would love to see one of those gigantic deep passes to Goodwin finally connect.
Yes.
Because that's going to, if you get Tennessee behind quick, they're fucked. I mean, Tannehill's he's probably going to throw at least a couple picks.
2 or 3. And I think Newsom's out this week.
Is he?
He has an elbow injury, but I think MJ Emerson gets you a pick this week.
Yeah. I like it. I like the call. I wish I could put a defensive guy instead of just a whole defense.
I think if there's a Myles Garrett 1.5 plus minus sacks, I'd take the over.
Okay. All right.
Because I think that's what the game script's going to be. Browns go up. They're going to have to throw the ball, and they're just going to eat.
Yep. I like it. So, with that being said, anything else you want to include on this upcoming Tennessee game? Get right game. Get it at home. Get right.
Deshaun, make my faith in you work out. Because if not,
Browns Nation is out there. I mean, we know the money.
Well,
we know the people
bitching all week. It's
all week long. Christ. Stop it. And then you see the dipshits on social media. It's like, stop. I can't scroll past you fast enough. Yes. Quit. And sometimes, I don't know, they're on their own clickbait. It's like, what are you doing? You're not us. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our Crichton Jordan segment.
This is great.
This is going to be so good. I think it's kind of been underreported this week. I mean, it just kind of broke out. It broke yesterday, Thursday.
Yeah, it's been very underreported.
It's underreported. Very, very underreported. Why is this
guy not getting the Deshaun Watson treatment?
I don't know. So, if you want to throw it up there, Chicago Bears defensive coordinator Alan Williams, he decided to go ahead and resign this past, or just Wednesday, 2 days ago. He decided to resign as a defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, as if the Chicago Bears can't get any worse.
Right.
So he signed with the Bears.
Absolute fucking sad.
And he's got all the pedophiles around him there. He's got Pee-wee, he's got Jared from Subway, and he's got R. Kelly. You think R. Kelly's pissed on his back right there?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, but stay tuned here because we can't jump to conclusions, but of all the stuff I've tried to scrape up today. So, apparently Alan Williams, the defensive coordinator for the Bears, went ahead and resigned this past Wednesday. Adam Schefter reporting it that he wanted to go ahead, according to Williams, quote unquote, focus on his health and on his family.
Well, I bet you do. Dude, you should have put a little Crying Jordan on his wedding ring there, too.
That would have been good. So it's something you got to zoom in on.
Right.
You know, I thought about maybe just go ahead and changing the paper he's got there. We should just the last will and testament. I could change that to
Or a Subway menu.
like the over 18 bylaws. I could put that on.
The Quran.
Good grief. So Williams went ahead. He's decided to resign on Wednesday. On Thursday, it was reported just yesterday that the FBI raided his home. Ladies and gentlemen, raided his home.
They usually don't get that.
No, yeah. And there was also reports, and we have a video. Well, we'll do that in a second. But there was also reports the FBI was raiding Hallis Hall, which is the Bears' practice facility. But apparently that was squashed by Adam Schefter, that came out and said no, that was a rumor. But none of the Bears elite, and Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Bears now, has to keep. Yeah, he has to take over defensive coordinator duties as well as Chicago coach, and he's basically stonewalling the press today. I know nothing. I haven't had that conversation. I don't know anything about it. I haven't been briefed on this. Everything. So there's something definitely going on. We're going to find out more about this. Like I said, it's definitely underreported.
You should have put Joe Pa in there somewhere too.
I could have like just the top half of Jerry Sandusky like in there. That'd be so good. Or, I know, the meme where it looks like Jesus going around the corner, but it's Jerry Sandusky. What's going on in here? I might have to revise the Crying Jordan for that one.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. In spirit.
Well, I mean,
in many young boy spirit,
right.
He's alive.
Definitely ruined some lives.
So anyway, I want to go ahead and get on to after the FBI raided his home yesterday, after he resigned Wednesday. The report was that was very sensitive material found in his home, and if the FBI is raiding your home, we're going to go ahead and let Pat McAfee. We got this skit here of McAfee. Of course, he's already been sued once from Brett Favre,
right,
for like welfare extortion. Yeah. He's being very careful about what he's doing here.
And I still kind of want to know more about that story.
I do too.
We need to dig more into that.
Yeah, we do.
But here's the video.
I mean, we've been sued for a lot of stuff, but our sources have told us, have told me, that an FBI raid did happen on defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears, Alan Williamson's house. And I think as soon as you hear that, immediately everybody thinks about, what have you heard about houses being FBI raided before? Mm-hmm. There's obviously very, very, very serious, disgusting allegations that potentially could be in play here. There's also potential drugs, right, that could be in play here. There could be some other stuff taking place. Nonetheless, he has resigned from the Chicago Bears quickly. He has been removed, and all the conversation around him has kind of been very distant. The Bears have kind of just said it's a personal matter. They're dealing with it. They're doing their whole thing. So we will see how this all turns out. Not a good time in Chicago for the Bears. I would like to say, as somebody that played on a team where Alan Williams was the coach, I could never have expected what some of these outcomes could be from him, but I don't think anybody ever expects that from somebody that is successful and potentially gets caught up in a situation where the house is getting FBI raided. Kyle Van Noy, I believe he was also a coach on a team you were on?
Yeah, he was a coach. He was the safeties coach when I was around. I'm the same boat as you. I didn't expect anything like that to come out either.
About anything with Alan Williams. That's like a real deal. And coach, he's been around. This guy's coached, I think, in Indianapolis, Minnesota, Detroit. He's in Chicago now. He's been around the NFL a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people are probably...
Good coach, great reputation. I mean...
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, I think, are very surprised. So, like, the internet's obviously going to immediately say, like, because I mean, if the FBI is raiding, everybody thinks of them taking computers. Why they take computers? Because things that are on computers.
Yes.
You know, so then as soon as you think of that, you're like, that takes me back. Like, I was here whenever Fogel's house got raided here. There was helicopters in the sky, choppers in the sky, and then everything took place. It was like, the subway guy that happened to? And that's what the internet, I think, automatically jumped to.
Yeah.
But I think if you listen to the way his attorney is talking, it almost sounds like there's, because they keep saying personal and health. And it sounds terrible to even speculate on this, but I think there's also a chance that this is maybe like drug, pill, pharmaceutical, maybe, you know, like something like that, which is not, obviously it's not what is being assumed by a lot of people, but that's also terrible. And who knows how many different departments are going to be involved in that whole thing. It's just out of Chicago yesterday, one of the worst news days for a sports team in history, I think, at this point.
So McAfee was definitely trying to tiptoe around it, but he was sued recently by Brett Favre for his allegations against Favre and the whole welfare scandal that was going down there in Louisiana. But McAfee just throwing morsels out there, just putting the doubt in all the viewers' mind about what exactly could Alan Williams have going on inside of his home. I mean, if the FBI is showing up there, they're raiding his house. Now, he did throw it. Was it drugs? It could have been. I mean, is he running some kind of fucking heroin syndicate out of there? And the FBI is probably not going in there. And here's the other thing. How come the ATF isn't there? If that's the case.
Right.
I'm just saying.
There are very minute instances of FBI raiding your home.
Correct.
And taking hard drives.
Correct.
1, if you're a whistleblower.
Yes.
2, if you're a fucking pedophile.
Right. And we just want to know, I mean, the guy doesn't look like any part of the Soprano family. So, I'm just saying, it's probably the latter.
Yeah. Very.
But we're going to
Jared
find out more
Goldberg.
about this story. But
Yeah, there's definitely some. He's going to get his ass kicked, I'm sure, somewhere. And you know, again, like, there's no way Chicago, the Bears knew. No way anybody else knew.
probably didn't. And I believe
people don't fucking masquerade around doing that shit.
Hence why the FBI had to go into his home. Yeah. But
it's
somewhere in the Bears organization, there's a whistleblower that said, you need to go and check this guy's fucking house out.
Well, where the fuck's all the coverage on this?
Right. That's what I was just started the whole segment with. Right. Why is this not a thing? Hardly anybody's talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Deshaun got rubbed off a few times at a massage parlor, and he's the asshole. This guy has fucking kitty porn on his computer, probably. Probably does weird fucking shit.
Oh, we're about to get sued for that. Now I just jumped into fucking...
Yeah, jumping to conclusions after an FBI raid of hard drives. It's pretty fucking obvious what's going on here. Unless he's fucking Pablo Picasso or, you know.
He's got digital fucking photos of art on there.
Right.
He's just fucking selling them online. So.
Yeah, like the IRS is just fucking pissed.
Fucking guy didn't fill out a goddamn WG on his fucking
happens,
gambling
Larry?
debts last year.
See what happens when you don't fill out your I-9.
Stupid fuck. All right. So, also coming out too, yesterday, the Chicago Bears went ahead and rehired a familiar face, Nathan Peterman. And if you remember this guy, he was notorious for having the 4 interceptions in 1/2 against the Chargers. I mean, I guess their backup quarter. Now, they're saying their backup quarterback's injured. But, and I hate to say this about Justin Fields, is there any possible way that Nathan Peterman's taken over for Justin Fields and he has this possible? Now hold on. Now the Bears are 0-2. Okay, they're going to be trying. Is it possible they could shut it down and try to compete with the Cardinals for a draft pick?
Why do you have to shut it down if Justin Fields can't win?
That's right. I mean.
And that's just everybody's saying like he can't process and all this stuff. Maybe he can't process because the first 2 years of his career he's running for his fucking life.
Right.
Just in a bad situation, you know. That's kind of like almost Browns quarterback that's been drafted here. You know, Deshaun got to come into a place with actual talent around him. And Baker did, actually.
Right.
See how that ended. But
all right, I'm going to take a pause here. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and fill the folks in on your crying Jordan?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, that hurt.
Sorry.
So my crying Jordan is, that's the whole entire city of Cleveland. Because myself included, thought week 2 would have provided us much deserved revenge over a city and a team that can honestly go fuck themselves. What we got was a horrific injury, a game we handily should have won. Couple of bad calls, some bad play by some guys. You know, a lot of people had bad games. Jed Wills had a bad game. Deshaun had a bad game. Even though they had moments, overall they had bad games. Ford came in and played well. Defense, no fault of their own. Miss a couple things here and there, but that's going to happen. And that'll happen on offense. But, yeah, I think we all were pretty confident going in that game. We were the better team. I think that'll show itself when we play them at home in Cleveland. I will be at that game. I'm going to take Monday off so I can be loud and proud and scream my ass off. They usually, over the last 4 years since Stefanski's been here, we basically beat them every time except for 21 when we had Captain Insano playing through injury. But yeah, that's the way she goes. That's the NFL. It's week 2. It seems like everyone got as down as they got up from week 1. And yeah, shit happened. Shit needs to get better, but good Lord, it's week 2. We're 1-1. Lost a game on the road. That will happen.
Sorry, Ryan. I had to go ahead and get rid of some of these Busch lattes. I apologize, folks, but I thought I might just piss down my leg.
Done it.
Done it.
On this floor before?
So, yeah, the crying Jordan. God grief. So, yeah, we deserve it. We deserve the whole crying Jordan treatment this year. I went ahead and put it out on my profile. I put Nick Chubb crying Jordan as my profile pic earlier this week. So, rip Chubb.
You're savage for that.
I am savage. So, all right. Last final segment kind of want to get into. So, one of the big games for Ohio State is tomorrow night, Saturday at South Bend. Buckeyes play Notre Dame. Buckeyes 3.5-point favorites in this game. I think I have to kind of give the edge. Actually, I'm going to give the edge to Notre Dame's transfer from Wake Forest, Sam Hartman. I know Kyle McCord looked like he put together last week, but it was also against Western Kentucky. So the good thing about it is, going forward, you got Kyle McCord's going to be your quarterback, we believe, unless he just has a shit show of a game here. He doesn't have to look.
Even if he does, he's still the quarterback.
Yeah, he's not having to look over his shoulder, thinking that Devin Brown's going to come in. I have to give the quarterback edge to Notre Dame. The running back group, I have to give it to the Bucks though. Mayan Williams, Trevion Henderson, have to give it to them. Receiving core, got to give it to the Bucks. Defense, well, we're going to find out. So, because up to this point, basically both teams have played 2 nobodies. Okay. Western Kentucky being 1 for Ohio State. Youngstown State being no. And then Indiana, I would say, is kind of the middle of the road team.
Still Big Ten.
Yeah. And then Notre Dame started off the year against Navy over in Ireland. Really a nobody, love the armed forces, but not football-wise. But they played NC State.
Navy can keep it close with about anybody, though.
Yeah, but NC State, so that's kind of their middle-of-the-road team. And I think in between times they played like SCLSU Mud Dogs. Not sure who they played. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. So I think the matchups, we're seeing between the two. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close game.
The Buckeye defense has come out and play. I think.
Yep.
I don't have full faith in Kyle McCord yet. If he comes out, balls out, and plays well,
right.
This is the game where you can make a statement. And if they can go there and look good, win by 10 or more points in Notre Dame, you're going to see them jump up the rankings.
Yep, they will.
Now, if it's a 13-10 slobber knocker, people are still going to have questions because I still don't think Notre Dame's a top 5 team. When you're talking about Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, the top echelon, Notre Dame's definitely top 10.
I'd say they're probably top 10.
12. They're a solid team, but to really, put a stake in saying, hey, we're Ohio State, we're back, Kyle McCord has to have a good game.
Yep. Kyle McCord definitely starts there. I think Ohio State's going to...
Well, and we need to show that we can fucking run the ball against a team like this, too.
Exactly. So, I think if Travion Henderson and Maya Williams, they get off to a hot start, Ohio State's game plan, it's going to make Kyle McCord's job a lot easier.
And that'll help that, too.
Right.
For sure.
If for some reason those guys and you put the sole game on Kyle McCord, I think we're going to take an L.
Yeah. Yep.
We're going to take a loss. That's
Absolutely.
what's going to happen here. And then also, I'm also still concerned about, just like you said, I'm concerned about that defense. Is Sam going to come out for Notre Dame? Is he going to be throwing dimes around the field? Are we going to be able to cover that? I keep having flashbacks of the Michigan game last year. Is this a possibility you're going to be under the lights, candle lights? It's at Notre Dame. So you're going it's going to...
Nice.
Yeah, but it's going to be, it's going to be definitely a hostile environment. Notre Dame wants to make the big push and say, look, we just beat Ohio State. We need to be in the Final Four contention, or the Final Four.
It'll put them there.
And they really have, after this game, because Clemson this year isn't shit.
Trash.
Okay, they're trash. So
they play USC, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. But this is definitely one of the big hurdles. This is a big hurdle where Ohio State has, this game. They're going to have a game against Penn State, and then, of course, that team up north to end the season. So Notre Dame, I think, really, both teams have everything on the line because nothing outside of a Big Ten championship.
Well, and Ohio State could lose this game and still make the playoffs, but you're going to have to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
If you win this game, you lose a close one to Michigan, which don't fucking do that. We need to win.
Right.
But you could still possibly make it like you did last year.
Right. Okay. Anything else you want to cover this game? Oh, I was going to get into my other sneaky play because of I got a couple sneaky plays for my bettors out there following the Raw Dog fam. I've cashed in on this the last two, not last 2 weeks, but the last 2 of the 3 weeks. Go ahead and take in our boy, the tight end for Ohio State, Cade Stover, over on passing yards. And the other one, because of the news out of Chicago, Kansas City has a very, very juicy contest against Chicago. That's the other 12.5 point spread this week. Any games that are 10 plus in the NFL, pushing 10 are tight. Normally you're seeing that, but with this news, is the Chicago defense going to come around and try to do something?
Be a defense?
Yeah, be a defense. They're not good.
No.
Okay.
At all.
And then you're going to put Justin Fields in the position where he's having to play from behind, play at Arrowhead Stadium. Hopefully Kansas City's defense has been really, really good.
They're
this
always
year.
really good.
They're really good. So sneaky good. Nobody talks about them because they always get
Pat Mahomes.
You have Kelsey going on. Maybe Kelsey's getting a little bit of that Taylor Swift snippity snip.
It's almost like, when you say New England's defenses were good. Yeah, they were, but so
they're good.
Tom.
They're good. Yeah, they're good. Okay, well, I think that's going to call it right now. So take Kansas City, swallow the points, 12.5, swallow them. We're going to go ahead and swallow the Cowboys, right? I'm going to swallow the 12.5.
Oh yeah,
against Arizona, and then we're putting the big money load on what is it?
Tampa,
yeah,
4.5.
Yeah, well, it's 5 now.
Is it 5?
They just moved to 5, so we're definitely.
If it was 7, I would take it.
Yeah,
it's going to be probably 20.
It's at Tampa.
Philly's offense hasn't looked great, but this might be the game that I'd say 31-10 final.
And Tampa's defense is good.
They're good. But
Tampa's defense is
they're
good.
not good when they're on the field the whole day, and that's what's going to happen.
Right. So I like it. So make sure to follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Share it with your friends. So, I mean, that's really what does it for us.
And if you guys could please like the video, we appreciate the comments we got. We actually had good comments this week. Just like the page on YouTube so we can widen the base, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, please. And it doesn't cost anybody out there. You know, I get this a lot. Does it cost anything to subscribe?
Yeah.
No. You just go to RawDawgers Sportscast, one word,
and hit that little notification bell as well.
Yes.
So when we go live, you get notified. And if you want to watch, you can watch. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
That's fine too.
But
that's fine too.
No.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add?
No. RawDawgers out.
RawDawgers out.